Karl Marx, the thinker who shaped modern political and economic thought. Karl Marx, 1818–1883, was a German philosopher, economist, historian, and political theorist whose ideas laid the foundation for Marxism, socialism, and communism. His critique of capitalism and theories on class struggle influenced political movements worldwide, making him one of history's most controversial and impactful thinkers. Early life and education. Karl Heinrich Marx was born on May 5, 1818, in Trier, Germany, into a middle-class family of Jewish descent. His father, a lawyer, converted to Christianity to secure his professional career. Marx studied law and philosophy at the universities of Bonn and Berlin, where he was influenced by German idealist philosophers, especially Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel. Over time, he distanced himself from idealism and embraced materialism, focusing on historical and economic analysis, intellectual development and exile. In the 1840s, Marx became involved in radical politics and began writing for various leftist newspapers. His criticism of the Prussian government led to his exile from Germany, forcing him to move across Europe, including Paris and Brussels. During this period, he befriended Friedrich Engels, a fellow philosopher and political theorist, who would become his lifelong collaborator and financial supporter. In 1848, Marx and Engels published the Communist Manifesto, a political pamphlet that called for the working class, proletariat, to overthrow the ruling class, bourgeoisie, and establish a classless society. The revolutions of 1848 in Europe temporarily elevated Marx's status, but when the uprisings failed, he was expelled from Belgium and later settled in London, where he would spend the rest of his life. Major works and theories. Marx's most significant work, Das Kapital, was published in 3 volumes, the last 2 completed posthumously by Engels. In this economic analysis, Marx examined the inner workings of capitalism, arguing that it inherently leads to exploitation, alienation, and inequality. He introduced the concept of historical materialism, claiming that economic conditions drive historical change. Some of his key ideas include class struggle. Society is divided into classes, where the ruling class exploits the working class. Labor theory of value. The value of goods is determined by the labor required to produce them, not by market forces. Alienation. Workers become disconnected from their labor, as they do not own the products they create under capitalism. Revolution. Marx predicted that capitalism would eventually collapse, leading to a proletarian revolution and the establishment of a communist society. Legacy and influence. Though Marx lived in poverty in London, his ideas gained traction after his death. In the 20th century, Marxist ideologies influenced the Russian Revolution, 1917, the Chinese Communist Revolution, 1949, and various socialist movements worldwide. His works continue to be studied in political science, economics, and philosophy. Despite criticism of his economic predictions and the failures of some Marxist-inspired regimes, Marx's analysis of capitalism remains relevant. Debates on wealth inequality, labor rights, and economic justice often draw from his theories. Conclusion. Karl Marx remains one of history's most debated intellectuals. Whether seen as a visionary or a radical, his ideas have profoundly shaped political and economic thought. His theories continue to inspire discussions on class, power, and the future of economic systems, making his legacy one of enduring significance.